All right, let me ask you something. What if I told you there was a car, 3 wheels, 2 seats, looks like it was designed by NASA after a long weekend, that runs partly on sunlight, gets up to 1,000 miles on a charge, and costs about as much as a loaded pickup truck? You'd say, sign me up. And then I'd say, well, you might have to hold your horses here because this thing has been almost happening for 20 years. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I'm talking about Aptera Motors. And if you've never heard of it, buckle up, because this is one of the most fascinating, maddening, genuinely promising, and potentially cursed vehicles in automotive history. And if you have heard of it, you know exactly what I mean already. Let's go back to the beginning. Way back, we're talking the mid-2000s. Gas was hitting $3 a gallon, everybody was freaking out, and a little startup called Aptera Motors rolls up with this wild-looking 3-wheeled, fully composite, aerodynamic egg on wheels that allegedly got 300 miles per gallon equivalent on gas. Not electric, gas. 300 miles per gallon. That's not a car, that's a weapon of war against the oil industry. And the thing was lightweight. Aerospace composites, slippery as a dolphin in a water park, getting lubed up for an amorous session with another dolphin. Had a surprisingly big trunk. It could fit 2 people. Was supposed to be super affordable, and it looked like something from the year 2075. I was sold on it. I think a lot of people were sold on it. It was futuristic, efficient, and it was supposed to be cheap. That's very much a unicorn in the car world. It's totally fetch. And then, poof, company gone. 2011 comes, they're bankrupt. No cars built, zero, just memories and broken dreams, and a lot of guys like me sitting on the couch going, well, that sucks. But wait, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, or maybe more like a zombie rising from the grave. We're not totally sure we can make the right analogy here yet. Aptera came back in 2019. Same founders, new company, new name, well, same name, but this time electric. It's solar assisted electric, and the vision is that 3-wheeled vehicle, 2-seater, solar EV though, that could generate up to 40 miles of range each day just from sitting in the sun. So, doing nothing, the car is supposed to be able to charge itself. Now, that's pretty cool, because think about what that actually means. The average American only drives about 29 miles a day. Aptera claims 40 miles of free solar juice each day, so for most people, you could literally never plug this thing in, ever. The car just sits in the sun and charges, and you're always powered up. And get this, you leave it at the airport for a 2-week vacation, you come back and it's more charged than when you left. You go camping for 2 weeks and forget about it in the parking lot. Car is totally fine, probably happier than you are. The solar panels, about 700 watts worth, which cover the roof, the hood, and hatch, are what make this possible. And the reason they work so well in the Aptera, where they'd be useless all day, say on a Suburban, is the physics of the thing. The thing is insanely efficient. We're talking 100 watt hours per mile in real world testing. A Tesla Model 3 burns through about 250. A Ford F-150 Lightning, don't even ask, because I didn't even bother looking it up. It's going to be a lot more. The Aptera is pound for pound one of the most energy efficient vehicles ever designed for public roads. In the range on a full charge, they're claiming up to 1,000 miles on the top trim. 1,000 miles, that's Chicago to Miami without stopping. The base model does 250 miles, and the one they're actually planning on launching, a 400-mile version, is priced at roughly $40,000. Now, here's what I want to ask you. At what price point does the Aptera make sense to you? At what price point does this become a hard car to pass up on? Because I think this is the make or break issue for the entire vehicle, and I'll tell you why in a second here. But first, let's talk about where things stand right now, because honestly, it's a little like watching someone trying to parallel park a really cool spaceship. So Aptera has been promising delivery since 2021. Yeah, 2021. They've pushed the date so many times that calling their launch imminent should legally require air quotes. At CES 2025, they showed up with production intent vehicles, which is a step above for prototype, but not production. They gave test rides, they announced a partnership with LG Energy Solutions for batteries. The car looked nearly ready, but nearly ready and in your driveway are not the same thing. And as of early 2026, they need another $50 million before they can even start low volume production, and that production isn't expected to kick off until March 2027 at the earliest. They raised $140 million from 2019 to 2025, went public on the NASDAQ under ticker SEV, and somehow still need more money. The company ended 2025 with $10 million in cash and a net loss of $44 million on the year. To be fair, they did ditch the fancy in-wheel hub motors they originally promised. Why? Well, nobody's fully saying, but the production launch edition will be a front-wheel drive only with a standard axle motor. No all-wheel drive to start. Kind of a bummer, but also kind of a let's just get this thing built compromise, which I actually am totally fine with. And they also got hit with a patent infringement lawsuit in 2024 and received an SEC subpoena in January 2025. I mean, what's a solar car startup without a little regulatory drama? But that's kind of just the beginning. Now, let me go back to the price conversation we just talked about, because this is where I think a lot of car companies, not just Aptera, are completely blowing it. The original Aptera dream was built on 3 pillars: futuristic, efficient, and affordable. The early models were supposed to start around $25,000 to $30,000. That was the pitch. That's why regular people were excited about it. That was the moment of, wait, I could actually own this. Now, the launch edition is $40,000. For context, you can buy a fully loaded Toyota Corolla hybrid for under $30,000. You can buy a very spacious, well-tested, reliable Tesla Model Y for $40,000. So the math, because of the pricing, gets complicated really fast. And here's the thing about pricing and demand curves that car companies keep ignoring. There isn't a straight line between price and sales. It's more like a cliff. You can raise your price 10% and lose 10% of your buyers. That's a normal day. But at some point, and nobody knows exactly where that point is until you cross it, you raise your price 10% and you lose 90% of your buyers. That's the slowly and then all at once moment. And I think Aptera is flirting with that line. Because yes, the total cost of ownership over 10 years might favor the Aptera. No gas, minimal charging, solar top-offs. But most people don't buy cars on a spreadsheet. They buy cars on what they see on the sticker and what their monthly payment is going to be. I'm not going to spend $1 million in a car that costs 10 cents a mile when I can spend 20 grand and drive normally. That's a price ceiling on efficiency, and Aptera needs to not crash through it head first. And so it really kind of comes down to this question. What's your confidence level that Aptera is actually going to make it to market? 10%? 50%, 90%? I'm kind of starting to fall on the lower end of that, because here's where I'm at on it today. I'm genuinely about 50-50, not on a cop-out kind of way, in a legitimate, I can see both sides of this canyon way. The case for making it is that they've been around since 2019, they've raised $140 million, they're publicly traded, they've got production intent vehicles that real journalists have ridden in, they have 4 evaluation vehicles, I think, right now. They went to CES looking like adults, and that's all genuine momentum. But the case against it is starting to get a little bit stronger. The brand has already died once, so it's not like it's impossible. They still need $50 million more before production starts. Their auditors, the people whose job it is to be boring but accurate, issued a going concern warning, which is accountant speak for, we're not sure this company will exist next year. Deliveries have been pushed back so many times, the goalposts have their own frequent flyer miles, and they're launching into a market where Elon Musk dominates. I can absolutely see a scenario where someone with actual business sense runs the numbers, realizes the price is too high, the market is too small, and just pulls the plug. I can also see a scenario where they thread the needle, they hit a price target, maybe they get rid of the solar cells too, they switch to fiberglass instead of composites, they end up building something truly unique, and it wins a passionate niche. But here's the thing, and I want to close on this. Maybe Aptera was so ahead of its time in 2006 that even now, 20 years later, the moment still hasn't fully arrived. Or maybe the moment actually passed about a decade ago, and what seemed revolutionary and cool and space-agey now has to compete with cheaper EVs, better solar tech, and a public that's just getting tired of waiting. The concept is legitimately brilliant. I was totally intrigued by it. Solar-assisted, hyper-efficient, ultra-light. That's not just cool, it's the kind of thing that revives the kid in you and makes you want to buy something. But vision doesn't get me to work Tuesday morning. Aptera needs to build the thing. They need to price it right and deliver it to actual humans who paid actual money. And until then, as much as I'm rooting for them, I've just got this nagging feeling that a very beautiful, very efficient, very exciting rumor on 3 wheels is going to hit the dustbin again. Because today I'm 50-50 on it. But tomorrow, I think I'm going to be 49-51. But we'll wait and just see where it lands. Peter Von Panda, out.